TFDirect.com.
What's up, guys? It's Charles here with RocketPunchArmy to do a review of the Quakeblast W-01 from Cloud9. This is a G1 style master scale. You can see Shockwave there, or Quakeblast, in a little kind of vampire type pose there, in like a coffin or something. And this is coming to us from TFDirect.com. Just to little disclaimer, it is not a free sample from them, but it does come from them. That's where I bought it. But this is the back of the box. It's got a little bio here. Pretty much what it's talking about is how in the comics he's like more of a tough guy instead of the cartoon where like he's a little bit weak. So they're kind of trying to do that whole comic side of him, which is the stronger character. All right, and you can see the robot mode and gun mode there. And again, the box really nice. It's got a nice satin finish. It's got a nice little window box with a Velcro. You can see the figure sort of right inside. Nice little line art there, computerized line art, very 80s. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead, open it up. Once we do have it open, you get a little baggie. These are actually in the baggie. I just had taken them out previously. But you get a long hose, and it's a segmented hose, and a shorter hose. You also get an articulated dark purple hand and the instructions, which are in purple. Right? And then in the tray here, you get Quakeblast himself. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. I did previously handle this. It's not the first time I'm taking it out. So, but when I did first take it out, I was very, very, very impressed. All right, so let's go ahead and take out all the other accessory bits here. I hope I have the exposure set right. I think I did set it up right, but it kind of looks dark on my viewfinder here, so hopefully everything's all right. But anyway, here he is. Absolutely stunning. First thing that grabs you is the metallic purple. I got a little bit of dust on here for some reason. The metallic purple paint. All right, let's check that out. It's actually quite beautiful. I love the detailing of the sculpt. Everything seems to be nicely done. I don't have anything else from these guys. I don't know what else they release. I haven't really been keeping up with all the stuff out there, but I'm actually very impressed with this. It does have LED features, a little LED right in here, and there's also an LED on his head, although the batteries are not included. One of the first things you'll also notice is the wobbly arms. That's really just because there's a lot of play in the ratchets, but the arms, when you do get it in a ratchet, they're obviously going to stay there unless you, like I did, lift it up. If you want to lift up the arm, you got to do it by the ratchet. All right, so not really a big deal. But the figure, I really can't get over it. When I first pulled it out of the box, you know, I didn't have the Fans Toys Quake Wave. I confused the two. I didn't have it with me to compare, but I was almost thinking like this might actually even be better. But we're going to compare it to in just a moment. You know, I'm going through this really quick. We'll just get the negatives out of the way, which was this, the floppy arm here. And then another thing too is if you bring the shoulder up this way, this corner of the shoulder kind of goes over where that pivot is, so it kind of hits there, and it's a scratch point. So you want to take care with that. If you want to bring the arm up, you do have to straighten, straighten this whole thing out to move it this way. Otherwise, you know, just put up with the scratching there. And that's really the only downsides I found. And I think one that's sort of, I guess, a downside is that this doesn't really plug in too well. I think it's supposed to snap in. It's got a little, like, little bulge thing there, a little cap-looking thing, and connected back here. It does snap into the back. For some reason, it's not doing it now. All right, and that's it. That's all you really got to do. And it's got the longer hose if you want to do it, you know, on the front of the arm, which is improper for some people. But it's there. I guess they really are copying off of Quake Wave, which I happen to have right here. Now, having these two guys together, immediately notice the color difference. I think the Quake Wave does have the better color. Although this looks a lot more menacing. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a better color, just it's different. We got a darker version and we got a lighter version, and as you can see, Quakeblast is taller, and he's got a lot more detail, just looks bulkier. As far as heft, I would say both of them are the same heft, and that is because this also has a good amount of die cast. You got the feet here, you got the side here, and there's really nothing else that's really visible. Oops, forgot to take his heels out. One of the heels is a little harder than the other to take out because it's a little wedged in there. But yeah, the heels are also metal, and it feels very nice. And I love the finish on this piece here. It's metal, and it's just got like a nice sort of very slight brushed steel look to it, which is really cool. And yeah, so these were the two that are out there competing for the Shockwave Masterpiece title. Now I know we are getting the Takara one, obviously, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the price on this guy, because I really thought this guy, you know, for its size and die-cast content and everything, I really thought this was going to be more expensive than the Quake Wave. But again, I wasn't keeping up with the forums or anything, but this guy is 80 bucks. And we have the Fans Toys here, which on pre-order was 150. Prices shot up. So I think that makes this a really, really good value. And we'll just take a look at them. I don't know which one you guys like better. I think this has more of a cartoony look. This has more of like a comic look. One thing I did like about the Quakeblast right away is the hands. They're much bulkier, fully articulated. They actually even splay out a little bit. And they're just bigger, and they're not as like blocky as the Fans Toys, because this has like a little angle here to make it a little more humanoid, whereas this it's just a square. It looks like just a square, just CAD designed, you know, whatever. But I really can't say I like one more than the, or I could say I like one more than the other, but I can't say one is really better than the other. I think it just comes down to what you really like. But I really am leaning towards this. I don't know what it is. I think it's just fascinating and beautiful. So yeah, here he is. We're going to check out the articulation. We got the head here. Up and down, very slight movement. We got to the side. By the way, the neck joint is nice and tight. We have the shoulders, which go up and down this way. We also have this, which remember, you have to keep straight if you want to articulate it a lot. And that hose just got pulled off. All right, and then the bicep swivel. We also have the elbows. We have a waist joint, which has very soft ratchet points, louder one way than the other. We also have the little flaps here. And actually, going back to the shoulders, I did show you this articulation, but it's also got this one on ratchet. So it's got this and this. And this doesn't articulate, but we have the wrist here, which swivels. There's no ball joints, just a swivel. We got the thumb, full articulation on the thumb, all the fingers here pressed in on ball joints. This one ball joint here does look a little white. I don't know if that's a stress mark or something, but I don't know why the ball itself would be stressed. But yeah, I don't know, that's there. And we have the hip joints nice and tight going out to the side. We can see the white plastic. I gotta really say something about the white plastic, even though it stands out, almost very prototypish. It's a very strong plastic. I don't know what kind of plastic it is. Maybe it's nylon, but it seems to be a very, very resilient plastic. It's not ABS, so I'm glad they used that. But white, I don't know, weird. So they got the, what do you call it, the thigh swivel, which also has nice soft ratchets. We have the knee, which has nice ratchets also, nice and loud, as you can see there. And then the legs going forward, which have seriously insane ratchets. Really awesome. We move down to the ankles here. They do unsnap from the side. You can get a little pivot there. And then of course the feet here. The toes have articulation, but it's not really meant to go forward. It's more kind of folding in for transformation, so that doesn't really count. And then the heel right back here. Now this is the way I want to display mine. Of course you can add the backpack if you want to do that whole, you know, keep everything together thing, perfect transformation, whatever. Well, not necessarily perfect, because you do have to detach it, but it does allow you to snap it right back here. Take this part with the two little screws, kind of hook that under there, right under there like that, and then just pop it in. Make sure this snaps up top. I'm not really going to force that, but I don't know if I want to keep mine like that. I know it's supposed to be back there, but I kind of like the look of it without. Now, something that has been pissing me off every freaking review I've done so far with LEDs is not having the damn batteries. Look at this. Thank God I went to a flea market a while back and bought just random amounts of dollar store batteries. So yeah, according to the manual, this uses AG13s, which are actually LR44Ws or 357As or CX44s, all the same crap anyway. Hopefully this is enough. So there's 3 places actually. I only named 2 in the beginning of the video, but there's actually LED here on the wrist, there's one in the chest, and one in the eyeball, which, if I'm not mistaken, is one more than Quake Wave. Alright, so let's take this off. And actually this folds all weird. Alright, took that off. We're going to go ahead and do the head. We do have to remove these screws here. And it looks like his ears start falling off. So just make sure to reattach those. Damn it, come on. Alright, so right back here, see a little battery slot. And, these do not fit in there. So let's take a look here. AG13. And let's take a look right there. AG13. So what's the deal, folks? What's the deal? What's going on? This pisses me off. I cannot get a review done with the freaking LEDs. So maybe the ones on the head are different. I'll have to try and see if I got any of those laying around. So that sucks pretty bad. But we do have the LED here on the chest. Let's see if those are AG13s. Alright, you got to bring this down. I believe this is the way to do it. Oh, great. Well, I'm a dumbass. I started taking off all these top screws. All I needed to do is take off these 2 little screws here. So let's go ahead and do that. But I'm thinking also that the batteries are too big for this here. So let's check that out. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, so they're definitely too big. So apparently somebody made a mistake. Either these are labeled wrong, or they're labeled wrong, or there's 2 different kinds of AG13s, which wouldn't make absolutely any sense to me. So I guess we won't be looking at any LED features, or will we? Check this out. Boop. Shut this off. We got the one there. Actually, let's leave some light on. We got the one here which activates pressing these buttons here. By the way, the one activated with a button on the top of the head. The only annoying thing, and we'll add this to the list of negatives, I guess, is the fact that the button for this one, you have to open up the chest. Couldn't work it anywhere more convenient. And close that right back up. Alright, so there we got the 3 LEDs going. So in case you're wondering what LEDs those are, they're AG1s, not AG13s. Very big difference, so just be aware of that. Unless they meant AG1 3 sets, but they didn't really even tell you how many you need. So that's a little strange, not cool at all. But thankfully my 1/6 Sideshow Darth Vader was kind enough to let us borrow those batteries. But alright, so here he is again. We're going to actually jump over to transformation. And as much as I love doing those sequences, this doesn't really lend itself to it. Not because of anything negative, just there's a lot of tight pieces that don't allow me to do that quick little kind of transformation. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to bring his arms up out of the way because we want to bring this chest piece out one more time. Bring this down, and you want to like slide the head forward so that it doesn't hit these corners when you bring it down. You don't want to scratch up his face, and then just hide it away. Close this back up. Now just notice something. When his head is hiding, this lights up. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, which is, I don't know if it's supposed to do that. As soon as I close these things, it kind of puts enough force on that button to light up. Just gonna, I guess we're gonna leave it like that for now, and then bring these arms down this way. We're gonna flip these around, and then get these tab holes to be facing up alongside with the tabs here. Bring this up, then press these tabs in like that. Then the very top is just gonna slide over, and there's a little zit there that you want to just hop over, and then this thing splits open each time. So I don't know I know it's not supposed to do that, but I don't know if that's going to be an issue at some point. Then fold in the heels. This one I never even bothered to take out. Then fold the toes and bring them in. Then this piece comes up, and it's a little weird. You got to mess around with this little white thing. You got to slide it. It's a little weird. Kind of have to work it around and then bring it down. It's like a little bit of origami going on there, but it works. And then you get it to this side. You got to do the same to the other. Let's see if I can get that going. Kind of slide this way and up and then down. Then this piece comes up, and it's a little weird. You got to mess around with this little white thing. You got to slide it. It's a little weird. Kind of have to work it around and then bring it down. It's like a little bit of origami going on there, but it works. And then you get it to this side. You got to do the same to the other. Let's see if I can get that going. Kind of slide this way and up and then down. Then turn this around, and then this has to come down in this way. And this is the part I don't like. There's like a little snapping action here. Don't like that at all. Kind of have to do it twice, I believe. There you are. I'm actually thinking about greasing that part. I don't like the way that is. Again, you have to snap. It's kind of hard to do. That's why I want to show you guys this way how I'm doing it, so you guys don't break it. But it's got to go twice, then down. That's why I didn't want to do the sequence, because I want to be careful with that, obviously. And then and this comes down. I'm not sure if the thighs, the pictures don't really explain. I don't know which way the thighs are supposed to be, but I think they're that way. You also want to take out the what do you call it? The little trigger finger here. And this is exactly why I don't like doing transformations like this on video. I'm sure you guys are cringing and trying to fast forward through this, but this is exactly why. I would hate to watch this, but again, it doesn't lend itself to the little sequence thing that I do, so you have to just bear with me or just skip ahead if you're not interested in the transformation. And it looks like the ratchets should be facing forward, to the forward of the figure, because it kind of offsets it back here so that these two leg parts can connect a little bit better. Kind of snap them in right there. Yeah, definitely ratchets on the other side. The first time I transformed it, I didn't switch the what do you call it, thighs, and it left a little space there. But obviously this is the way it's supposed to be. Then you come down here, snap these two pieces. There's a little trigger part right here. This section is not the trigger part. It's the little penis looking thing that's sticking out right there. These pieces are actually to tab into these holes, which will happen after you bring this down. And you just kind of have to work it in there like that. Cover this. And the little viewfinder you pull up, back, and up that way. And this backpack, I guess it's for the perfect transformation. You know, this flips around. And, you know, essentially what you're doing is creating the next piece I want to show you. So this is going to be here. You have to tab that into the sides, you know, and then bring this around this way. I mean, it's obviously what they're trying to do is make one of these, but in a perfect transformation. So we'll just check to see what that looks like, and then that's just going to go and tab onto this thing here, and also to the side of the hand, I believe. So let's go try that. This is a first time I'm trying it, so it's why I have a little trouble. Just had to do that off camera. It wasn't too terribly difficult, but it's kind of hard to do it when you have a camera in front of your face. But just snaps right in and tabs right at the top. But I really want to check out the, hopefully this will unsnap now. Gotta take it off from there. I want to check this one out. Alright, so that seems to not tab into the top, but only to the sides. So let's see if I can do this. And you gotta put the... Look at that! That's very sexual. Gotta stick it in there. It's kind of hard to see where I'm putting it in. Haha! Alright, so there we go. And that's supposed to pop into the side over here. There we go. Alright. A couple things. This does look like the G1 toy, which I like very much. I never really had one for myself, but I do know what it looks like. And, oops, the hose. Gotta get that hose. Put it here. And it's weird because I was getting these things to snap in. I could barely take them off, and now that I have taken them off, alright, so we'll just leave that off. The hose would go there. If it bothers you enough, you can put some shoe glue or some crap in there. I don't know what's going on. It just will not stay for some reason, even though I had so much trouble trying to take it off. But yeah, it looks good. You can't get the LEDs or anything like that to work by doing this. And what sucks, I think, is that LED just stays on. And then to get this LED on, you can't do it like while it's in this position. The button is just not in the position to do it. You have to take this off, which is very hard, and also risks chipping the paint there, although it didn't do it that time, but it does deform the little hole there, which is not cool. And then you have to slide this thing over, open this up, just so you can press the button. No thank you, I'm not even going to bother. But other than that, it looks great. Just, you know, it's got its flaws. It definitely has its flaws. But if you're just going to display it, I really do think in robot mode it does, you know, have a better shelf presence than Fans Toys. I don't know if this figure was rushed because of the whole Takara thing coming out and the price is lowered, but I really do think, you know, if this came out for like 160 bucks, 150 bucks, people would buy it and not really have a problem with it. You know, maybe with those little issues I just showed you, it would be a problem, but what I'm trying to say is the materials, the die cast, the size and everything, it is typical of something that's, you know, about 160 bucks. But it's not 160, it's 80 or less actually. All right. Now I just realized I didn't do any scale comparisons, so let me get this guy back in robot mode and we'll do some scale comparisons. All right, so we're going to make an obvious scaling here with Apollyon or Megatron. We're going to do the Fans Toys Quake Wave one more time. The recently released Ironhide. Of course, we got to throw MP10 in there. All right, so that's going to bring us to the end. The only thing I didn't really show you guys is this our hand here, which I'm not going to replace it with. Kind of like the look of the pinkish, purplish hands, but it does have this dark hand just in case you were wondering. It looks easy enough to install. There's a little hex holder there. And that's it. If you want to pick one of these up, make sure to go to tfdirect.com. There's a link in the description below. That, you know, help those guys out. They're very good to the channel here, and it helps me out to continue to bring stuff for you guys in the future. Hopefully the gaps from now on will not be as huge in between videos, although it will be a lot less than it was ever before. So, but I got a couple big things coming, guys, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Until next time, bye-bye.